Is your current bank being a dick to you, especially when you're earning enough income, but they won't use it due to their policy, but you want to get your next property purchase? Well, this video series is about how other banks will be treating that type of income and maximizing your borrowing capacity. For example, I have a current client that engaged my services from booking my private 15 minutes consultation. He says that, hey Q, I have a large amount deducted in my most recent tax return as instant write-off, and my current bank and the banker won't let me add it back as my net profit, and they say my loan doesn't service. Do you have another bank that could help me? And yes, as a Jedi mortgage broker, after the consult, I did a bit of research and a bit of workshop with a few banks. I found a bank that had similar rates and even better that could use an accountant letter to confirm the instant write-off and add it back as a non-recurring expense. In short, it was a $50,000 write-off, and by adding it back, the client had an extra $50,000 in net profit, which serviced the deal and enabled him to buy his next investment property. I had another new client this weekend that booked a super clarity 15-minute session with me. And he said to me during the 15-minute call, he said that my current bank limiting policy is that, hey Q, I have 3 teenagers in private school. Yeah, I know, my kids come first, but I want to buy this third property, and the private school fees are stuffing up my borrowing power. Can you help me, mate? Again, as advertised on my booking call, I am a bloody Jedi broker. I said to him, let me suss out after the call on my other 25 banks to see whether I have a solution. In a couple of days, I got back to him. I said, yes, I have a bank that can ignore the private school expenses. If you have savings to cover the remaining school fees, then we can leave it out in the bank calculator. And since you have enough healthy balances of savings, we can ignore it. And yes, you can service a third property. Woo! And from there, we're getting a new pre-approval for the new client. And also he's going to say goodbye to his existing bank because their policy sucks. And just last week, a first home buyer that booked my 15 minutes consultation says, hey Q, my current bank says I have to add back rent into my expenses, but I live at home rent-free. I don't pay rent, but they keep making me add back some default rent and it's killing my borrowing power for my first property. Can you help? And of course, with my 25 banks that I have under my policy, there is also a bank that can negotiate that. And after 72 hours of our consultation, I sent him an email. Hey mate, I just found a bank that if you get a letter from the folks, which is his parents, confirming that you live rent-free and don't pay board, we can leave that out in your living expenses. This should give you an extra 50K in borrowing power. Whilst his current bank couldn't give him that extra 50K, which means an extra bedroom or maybe an extra toilet. So remember guys, different banks have different policies, so you shouldn't be always locked into one bank due to loyalty that will lock in your borrowing capacity due to their ineffective policy. So guys, jump in the comments, let me know whether you want more of these scenarios, and stay tuned for part 2.